Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Katrina, and this is Sow and Tare Live. We do this every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're in different time zones, it's a different time, but 6 p.m. Pacific time. And thank you guys all for showing up. And for those that are watching the replay, thank you guys for watching the replay. If you guys have any questions, discussion topics, anything you want to talk about, go ahead and put them in the comments and we'll talk about it. We go through a gambit of topics on this channel and on this live. And I how this works is I start off by reading through some of the comments. There's a lot of hellos in the beginning. And then we address any questions and any discussion topics that people bring up. And then partway through, I have a pre-planned discussion topic. So welcome, and let's scroll up and get started. Dawn's here. She's been first for a while. Oh, got second like. Oh, Verna must have gone first. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Steve's here. Welcome. He got third. Feather and Shell. Welcome. Oh my gosh, you guys are counting. You got fourth? I guess if you haven't hit the like button and you like it, or you expect that you will, hit the like button. These guys are already doing it, and I didn't even start it. Well, Steve has some extras in there, huh? Erica, welcome, Erica. Erica's number 7. And hello all. Hello, Erica. And Steve is ready to go. He has all his necessities. QuailCon. Steve is S.O. Swanson. Steve is our official QuailCon countdown guy. 103 days. So if you have not signed up and gotten your tickets for QuailCon, go ahead and do that. I'm sure if Verna hasn't put a link in it, she probably will now. But QuailCon is in September. It's September 2nd and 3rd. I will be doing a master class. I will be giving a master class. Verna, who is in blue, she is my moderator. She will also be doing a master class. So I'm going to be doing it on aviaries and aviary setup, aviary design, and Verna will be doing intro to raising quail. So, and she also has her own channel, Vase Place, and she does lives on Saturdays. All right, let's keep going. Everybody saying hi. And Verna says evening, everyone. Good evening. Oh, Steve's Feather and Shell? Okay. Everybody's saying hi still. Oh, Verna says, haha, I beat you all last night, right before my Shire's live stream. Oh, you guys are funny. As long as you missed, okay. Yeah, so my Shire had some stuff he talked about in the beginning last night on his live, and it was good information. So there we go. Steve says, I was cutting out a tree to make sure it didn't hit the house. I was successful. House is intact. Awesome. Glad to hear. Oh, Verna, you ordered another camera? Hopefully, and you're going to do the video last part of the cootie cages. Hopefully it works. I don't know what happened with your other camera because it was brand new, I think. But hopefully you get a good one that works for you. And Steve's asking you the same thing, whether it worked out. Steve says, I'll be offline this weekend. Have to go to Illinois. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steve. I hope that everything goes as smoothly as possible and that there is peaceful vibe going on. Yeah. Joy is here. Hello, Joy. Welcome. She says, hello all from Western Oregon. Hello. And Verna has an update for the camera. First camera takes a video in 1-minute sections. Pain in the butt to get it ready to upload. Interesting. That, I wonder if there's like a setting or something, or if it's just a weird camera. I don't know. Erin's here. Good evening, friends. Good evening, Erin. How is your website coming along? I worked on mine. I know you were working on yours. Oh, the first camera works for still photos. Okay, that's good. Hey, Buster's here. Hi to all. Welcome, Buster. People are saying hi to everybody. PJ's. Hey, PJ. Hey, I made it, she says. Welcome, welcome. All right. And everybody's saying hi. Truck 3 Warden, evening from Wisconsin. Good evening, Truck 3. I don't know if you saw it, but I did do a Truck 3 Warden requested some information, and so that's who you have to thank for the video on rock dust. So I did do a video on rock dust. If you didn't see that, go find it and watch it. Good information. Everybody saying hi. Anime gamer creator, yo, welcome. Dawn's helping someone. Okay, you're good. You're excused. We know you come back. Anime gamer creator. Oh, I think you're asking Vern about Big Mama, right? I don't know, so she will have to answer that. Hey, Ed's here. He's 12. Welcome, Ed. Andy Rabbit's here. Hello, welcome. Anime, you need to get better. You need to get better there. Take some rest and figure out what's going on. Hey, Laura B's here. Welcome. Thank you for your knowledge. You're welcome. And any questions that you have, put it in the chat. And if I don't know what the answers are, somebody on here does. We have a pretty good array of people on here and expertise, so that's good. Welcome. Hey, Linda's here. Welcome. Howdy, everyone listening in while I'm doing farm chores. Linda, I saw your post on Quail for Profit. I thought that was pretty funny because the thing I picked up on is the free bucket. I hope they didn't charge you. So here's a tip for people. Donut stores, donut shops, donut bakeries, whatever they are, bakeries in general, they don't always make all their ingredients, and they will buy stuff in huge tubs. They're usually, I think they're 4-gallon buckets, like they're like short and squat. And they will give them away for free. And that is better than paying for a bucket. Yeah. All right. Hey, Verna put the QuailCon link there. Good. Anime gamer creator wants to know who's doing Bunnies class. You're talking about at QuailCon? That will be Whiskey Tangle Farms. They're going to do, I believe it's an intro to bunnies. So intro to bunnies, intro to meat rabbits is what they're doing. I don't know if it's meat rabbits or just rabbits in general, but intro to rabbits is what they are. They're going to have a class at QuailCon. So making it more rounded out and more self-sustainable event. All right. PJ says, got my chores done early tonight. Yay! It's nice when that happens, right? And Ed will also be having a table at QuailCon. He will be spilling his secrets for his quail crafting secrets at QuailCon. And he has a fun, I almost want to call it costume. He's gonna be identifiable. And Liz says, can't wait to meet you, Ed. Yes, agrees. All right, everybody saying hi. Yeah, so Verna just put on her, was that yesterday that you did that? Yesterday, day before? Verna just put on her Vase Place YouTube channel Ed made something for her, and it's very creative, and it's something that he can teach you how to do. So check out that. Yes, and Steve says Kristen from Whiskey Tango Farm will be doing rabbit class. Yep. Truck 3 says, Verna, we picked up the 2 new boys Friday. Good. Hey, Verna put the affiliate link for Quail University for me. And so if you're new to Quail, if you have Quail already, it's worth taking the course. So Quail University is an online, it's going to be a set of courses. Right now, there's only one course. It's Intro to Quail. So Quail 101, I think is what they called it. And there will be additional courses after this, but Right now it's just one because they're just getting started, and it's really good. So if you click on that link, it'll get you there, and it'll give me a little bit of a kickback. Yeah, there you go. Uh-oh, Anime, I think you need to go get some tissues. Sorry. Oh, Dawn, you're giving away what they are. I'm not going to read it out loud, so people go watch it. Verna says, so for QuailCon, you have the QuailCon ticket, you have dinner. If you're so QuailCon tickets with admit of a adult, kids under 18 or 18 under, I don't remember if the 18 is included or not, are free. However, you do have to pay for the dinner if they are going to get dinner. So there's dinner tickets, and then I have no idea if camping is still there or not. But yeah, it's really good. All right. Okay, we're talking about. I was trying not to tell people what it was, so they would watch the videos. Gidros Urban Home said hello. She says, "Hey friends, hello, welcome, welcome." And okay, we're talking about removing a wishbone from a quail and the efficiency of it. So Andy Rabbit says to start from the top to remove it. I have an easy way. You can quail and it comes right out because it's very tender. That's how I would do it. But that's, yeah, you would be canning quail though. Oh, Ed is saying ask Verna how she does it because she did it. Yeah. We get out wishbones after we eat it. Well, yeah, that's part of it, right? All right. So if you guys want to know how that's done, Verna will be talking about that on Saturday. They still seem to be totally connected at the top. Yeah, you can disconnect them, but if you can them, it works. That's all I would say. Uh-oh. So Anime says you're having technical difficulties. I'm sorry. I think you need to get checked out. I'm assuming that the link is that Verna put is the link to her video of Ed's special gifts. And Indy said she hadn't noticed that. Maybe you just have very strong birds. All right. Oh, you break the bottom part off of them? Interesting. Okay. Oh, if you're cutting it, maybe you're cutting into it. I don't know. Verna says there are no more camping places. Thank you. It says camping filled up. Hey, Diana Tuttletop Farms here. Hey, all from Kansas. Welcome. Verna says every time I eat quail, I save the wishbones. I save them for bone broth, but I don't save them for this. Dawn says Katrina, the video is really awesome. Are you talking about right now that's not glitching like last time, or are you talking about some other video? But that's good to hear either way. Andy Rabbit says I need to butcher some and pay some attention on removing the wishbones. Some of these things I'm finding, like when we discussed skinning quail or rabbits and how the females were easier than males. I think some of it people don't realize, like people just do it and they don't realize what exactly the steps they are to do it, or they might say, oh, I just do it, but it's good to take a minute and say, wait, what am I really doing to accomplish this? Yeah. And Andy Rabbit, your cat ate the wishbones. We've heard enough stories about this cat making mayhem. Didn't he like throw rabbit feed everywhere or something one time? Yeah. Oh, Verna says, I'm a little slow tonight as my hands hurt from working on the cages all afternoon. Do not worry about that. I understand. And relax your hands. Yeah. Yeah, and it says, right, I just do it. I don't stop to smell the flowers. Yep. And Erica says, I'm with you, Katrina. I use the bones for broth. Yeah, and so that will be the first thing that I freeze dry. I did get a freeze dryer. You guys saw the video on Sunday of me unboxing it, and that's as far as I've gotten because I forgot to call the electrician again today. I'll call him again tomorrow. I left a message last week and didn't get a call back, so I will be calling him again. And once I get a dedicated plug, I will be doing bone broth because I have tons of bones in the freezer. Yeah. Andy Rabbit says the cat's a butthead. Well, it's a, I hate to say it, but it's a cat. Cats like to play and they like to kill things. So there you go. Is he orange stripes and named Garfield? Ed wants to know. He's white with orange stripes, named Reggie. Yeah, so the orange maybe, huh? Yeah. We've had a cat here you guys saw in the weekend review today, if you watched it. And he doesn't even have a real home. His people moved, and their neighbor kind of takes care of him, but they moved without him, and it's very sad. And he thinks he lives here. It's a nice cat, but he is a very good birder, which is not exciting for me. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. Cats in general, I mean, they may be cuddly and cute and all that, and they are good to have around for, rats and mice and, those types of critters. I just wish that they didn't like to kill birds because we have some pretty good birds. And there he goes after a bird right now. He's right outside. Luckily, they're flying away. Yeah. He just climbed up in the cherry tree. Timely, right? PJ says, I'm waiting for my friend to come over assist me with processing quite a few quail soon. Then I'll be down to 1 tower of cages. Put some meat in your belly. And he says he's a different kind of cat for sure, but he does know he's a cat. I have seen, I don't remember where I saw this, but I repeat it all the time. And that is, my dog thinks he's human. My cat knows she's God. And I just thought that's so true. Yeah. Yeah, Verna says, hope he's a good mouser. I don't know if he's a good mouser or not. I don't think I've ever seen him catch a mouse, but he is definitely a good birder. So I'm hoping that he's also a good mouser. Yeah. Anime says the cherries in your tree are small. Yeah, they're small this year. I don't have the water on, and I'm kind of afraid to turn it on now. They got a whole bunch of water early in the year, and I just haven't turned on the water for the front yard, which is I probably should. But when they are ready and ripe, and you give it more water than it's used to having, then they split. So I probably should do that. I probably should turn it on. And there's also different varieties. So one of the varieties, so in the video from today, one of the varieties it's a multi-grafted tree. So one of the varieties that's on that is there for pollination. And I think that might be the one that I ate from. But I also apparently have fruit flies. I forgot that was an issue last year, and I knew I was going to get traps, and I never did. And I am going too soon. Because that can also affect fruit, of course. Yeah. Ed says most cats don't think they are a cat. True, Katrina. Yep. They know they're not, in fact. Andy Rabbit says that may be what my cat thinks. Yep. And Anime says animals act the way you raise them, just like children. Cats are a little different. Cats do have an instinct to kill. They are something that people think that if they put a feeding station out, that they won't hurt the birds and they won't hurt the you know, my whatever animals are out there, but that is just not true. Um, I'm a wildlife biologist by trade, and we run into this all the time. People, oh, I'm feeding it. You're just making it healthier to kill more things. So, in my opinion, if you have a cat and you're feeding it, if you don't have a cat and you're feeding it, it is your cat, and you are responsible for everything it does. So, that is my feeling. And it might be a harsh thing, but if you're feeding a cat, you're responsible for it. And you should be taking it to the vet and taking it inside and all of that. So I understand, barn cats have a purpose. There's certain cats that are outdoors that are what I would call working cats, like a working dog would be. But yeah, other than that, I don't think it's a good idea. They do a lot of damage. So, and while that's true for a lot of things, I don't think it's true with cats. Yeah. Verna says, I water my tower nearly every day. That's good. Yeah, I water mine every day, and it's every day or every other day, depending on what's going on. But it looks good. It looks good. Vinegar water with soap in a jar helps get rid of flies. I have heard this. I have made fly traps like that and have not had that work. And Anime, you just brought up our topic of the day, so it's a little early, but we're going to talk about it. Flies. So I have tons of fly traps out there. The fly traps that are from the store work better than that vinegar soap mixture. The vinegar soap mixture works really well inside for fruit flies. You're talking about fruit flies. Never mind. That is correct. I'm talking about other flies. So I should make those for the front. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, vinegar water with soap in a jar. Yes, thank you, Anime. I will do that for the front. In the back, though, I have the fly traps for the bigger flies, and they just keep coming. As you guys know, I have wood chips covering things and all that, and I am looking for solutions because there are tons of fly traps. So now's the time you guys can bombard with your solutions for flies, and we'll open it up. We'll say either fruit flies or the other flies. So we want to know and help each other, because right now I'm using the fly traps from the store, and they're working, but they're not getting everybody. Like Lucy with moles. Yeah, so Lucy is Verna's dog, and she goes crazy for moles, and it's just something that's built into her. And I mean, I don't think Verna taught her that. I think she just did it, right? Yeah. Andy Rabbit's talking about her cat. His mother is an awesome cat. She won't kill anything I own, but she will hunt the same animals in the wild. Yeah, so she knows who's family, who's not. Yeah. Erica says cats are wild animals that choose to live with people. Yep. Anime says, oh no, if you have an outside cat and you don't train it not to hurt animals, they'll go with instincts and chase and kill. Okay. Well, given that their people moved and did not take him with him, I would say they were not good parents. So that might be accurate. Truck 3 says, our shed cats only last if they stay away from the bird feeders. They have all the food they want and will still hunt the birds. Yep. Okay, Verna says, I have to get my blue light out that catches my flies. Is there like a can you send me a link? Is there a particular brand of something that I need to be looking for, Verna? Yeah, that's good information. Gidros says, we fight with the flies as soon as it warms up. And that's what's happened, is it has warmed up and it's been wet, and it's no longer wet, and it's probably not going to rain until October. That's a normal season for us. late October or November. So we'll have a dry season, but yeah, yeah. PJ says my barn cat doesn't bother my birds at all, but I haven't seen any rodents around since I got her as an adult. Yeah, so there's some cats that just aren't birders, and there's some cats that are just aren't rodenters. There's ones that do, different things, and there's ones that are just obliterate everything. Yeah. Anime says a little thing I add to my mix for flies and gnats. I add juice. That way, when it ferments, it attracts them more. Good tip. Good tip. Um, Andy says the bag fly traps quick bait for flies, both the pellets and spray. I don't know about any of that. Quick bait for flies. Um, Pellets and spray. I don't know. Okay, I will look those things up. Hey, JJ's here. Hi all. Sorry late. It's all right. We're just talking about flies. Welcome, welcome. Steve says when my black soldier fly are active, I find that I have a big reduction with standard pesky flies. The flies lay their eggs in the quail poop, and the black soldier flies eat them. My issue is I'm in a neighborhood, and I have neighbors, and I don't want to inundate them with flies of any kind. And I know that we have, the black soldier flies are the good flies, and I mean the other ones don't really do anything bad. They just help with decomposition, but any of those can be annoying, right? So that's what I'm trying to avoid and not succeeding at right now. Erica says, when I figure out how to deal with my fly problem, I'll let you know. All right. Steve says, before that, I have used the stinky liquid fly traps and it catches thousands. That's what I have. I have 5 of them up right there. I mean, I only have one area in my yard that's having an issue. I have a couple in other areas, like as a just in case, and they catch things from now and then, but it's just one area. Yeah. Guido says the large rolls of fly papers from Tractor Supply always work well, but that gets expensive. Quick Strike works well, but you'll also take out the good bugs with that. Is that the zapper? Yeah, that was my concern with that one. Dawn says, I trapped a 40-pound groundhog today. That's a big mole for Lucy. Lucy would be in heaven. Goodness. Andrew Abbott says, my problem with black soldier fly is by the time they get going, my fly's taken over already. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to open this link that Verna sent me. Open link in new tab. If you right click and then click open link in new tab, it will open the link in a different tab. That was self-explanatory. I don't know that I needed to explain that, but that's how you do it. Okay, I will try that. Anybody else use that? That's like a really big name. Danaga. I will try that. Thank you. The fly bags, yeah, that's what I have up. Verna says Lucy went after one, Dawn, but didn't catch it. Oh boy. Yeah, groundhogs can get big. JJ says I use sticky fly tape for now. Just don't walk into it. Good tip. Are you speaking from experience, JJ? Verna says I have the fly tape on, but need to plug in my fly trap. Okay. I'm going to try that. I'm going to buy it tonight. I'll let you guys know how it works for me. Andy says, I bought a very large sticky trap that is working great. Awesome. Simply blue light for flies. Okay. I wonder what it is about blue. Do they see an ultraviolet? They might. I don't remember if they do. I took entomology at one point, but I don't remember ever learning that. JJ says, LOL, worse when a dog or cat gets stuck in fly tape. I can imagine that would be not fun. Not fun at all. Wow. Oh boy. Verna says, yep, they only fly during light. Yeah, see, that was my issue with, I was thinking about with the zappers, because Manuel mentioned there's bug zappers, and I'm like, well, bug zappers are usually like attracting nighttime insects. And I guess you would either put it on a timer or just plug it in or set it out, or I don't know how it works, but during the day, and not do it at night, because the flies aren't out during, they're out during the middle, the middle part of the day. They're not really out at dusk and dawn, or anyway. Yeah. Don says they are quick. My dog has chased them 3 times, and he's only 21 pounds. Well, if they're running for their life, they're gonna run. Truck 3 says we use the blue light for bugs, but also feed insecticide with our mineral tubs for the cattle. I don't know about that. You feed it to the animals, and that affects what? Interesting. I'm learning things here, guys. Thank you. Andrew Abbott says a friend of mine uses a product called Tanglefoot. I've heard of that for her organic greenhouse. She puts it on a solo cup upside down on a pole. I've heard of that, and I don't remember what it is, and I'm going to look it up right now. Tanglefoot. I'm familiar with the word. Okay. Okay. We have ideas. Gotta find you guys. Don says to JJ, ha! I had a cat get stuck in fly tape. Oh my gosh. It jumped and the tape wrapped around its whole body while it ran off. It killed me to pull it off and then wash the sticky out of the cat. Oh my gosh. Goodness. Andy Rabbit says, I have not tried it yet. I need to buy some. JJ's laughing at Dawn, especially when the tape is also full of flies. All right, guys. So like maybe in a month we should revisit this and see what everybody has, like if everybody's tested things or worked with a certain thing, what has worked and what has not worked. Somebody remind me that and we'll bring it up, or somebody bring it up in a month. That'll be enough time, right? Truck 3 says flies can't hatch in the poop. It makes a big difference for us, but that is cattle and horses used to make traps for deer flies and horse flies. Yeah, we don't have biting flies here. I'm going to knock on some wood. We don't have biting flies here, so at least there's that, yeah. So I will definitely look at some of this stuff. All right. I'm glad you guys were engaged in that question and that discussion. I mean, teaching moment. You guys are teaching me. I guess that's what we're talking about. All right. Thank you. So, what else do you guys have going on? I know some people were surprised for my weekend review. Parmesan, the male bunny rabbit, the buck bunny rabbit, he peed on me, and some people expressed surprise that they do that, and they do. I mean, I've talked with several people who either already have or either have currently or have had in the past pet male rabbits, and they do the same thing. When they get hyped up and they get excited, they just like woohoo and just like smell like me. I don't know if it generally is when they get excited, and they do that with the females, like sometimes during their dates. They sometimes do that, not all the time, but sometimes they do. But yeah, I've had other people tell me, like I have a friend that she used to have one when she was little, and he would be all cute and cuddly and playful, and if she got him too riled up, he would spray her. So that's just something to think about, especially if you're looking at getting a pet. The males are known to be very sweet. I mean, Parmesan is a sweet boy, and he just loves me so much that he needs me to smell like him. I believe that is what is going on. He wants to spread his perfume. I mean, he already does. If you go up into the hutch and you put your hand in there, before the ladies they make it so my hand is right here on them. They want loves. They want pets. He comes up and he starts going like this, and they have scent glands right here, and he's basically marking you when that happens. It's basically going, okay, hi, yeah, you're mine. Okay. They will also mark things in their habitat, and that's just marking. So it shouldn't be really a surprise, except for it's a little bit of a shock, especially the first time. Yeah, there you go. All right, gotta scroll back up here. Dawn says, I don't remember if it had flies. I about had a heart attack. If the cat would just have stood still, I could have pulled it out. But the whole body wrap, no way. Yeah, I do not envy you. Verna says, house flies will bite just before a storm to get blood they need for eggs. Did not know that. Did not know that. And there's all sorts of different kinds too. Truck 3 says, you are so lucky we have the gnats and the little flies. I'm allergic to black flies. I've lived in places that have the biting flies, and that's not fun. Yeah. Andy says, I thought about buying some of that stuff for the rabbits the other day. The feed store told me it ain't approved for rabbits, though. I wonder if I could sprinkle it under the cages. Do not know how that stuff works. It's worth looking into. I would definitely research it first and go for it if you think so. And then report back. Be our test subject. JJ saying it was probably worse than waxing your legs. Anime says male spray. Oh, I know male spray, but I never knew they would do that with excitement. Yeah, I have not seen him do it just out of the blue. It's always been like when I spend just that extra time with him, or if he hasn't seen me in a while and I petting him for a little bit. I've been doing a lot of inside stuff, and Manuel has been feeding the rabbits the past few days, and so I haven't actually been out there to pet him in a couple of days, and because Manuel doesn't pet them when he feeds them. I do. I spend a lot of time with them, and so he was excited. Yeah, and then like I said, I've seen him when he has dates with his ladies. Getting marked by a rabbit. Yep. Verna says Cooey will spray too. I'm sure there are a lot of animals that do. Yeah. Do they throw it? Like, how far does it go? Because Parmesan can do a couple feet away. Dawn says, I don't test for flies or try anything because my porch is screened. No compost or manure. It goes out in the trash, so the flies aren't any different than before I got quail. Good. Anime is saying wow to something. Hopefully it's something good. Andy says, boy rabbits go down low so it doesn't hit me in the face. One time, did I do it? I think I was on camera. I think it was. I don't remember. I think it was a week in review or something. But so I have a chair by Parmesan's hutch, and I can lean like this on the chair. And I was just doing that, and I had my head down because sometimes he comes up and just, smells, and like I just give him attention, and he wants me to be there, but he likes to do his own thing. Anyway, so I was like this, and then I looked up, he got in my eye, which is not good. Clean that sucker out. Yeah. JJ says, I hate black flies. They take a chunk of skin when they bite. Yeah, some of those flies have like two swords that I just said swords. That's not how you say it. Two swords that just go like this, Yeah. Anyway says male animals really like spraying. Did I mention boys are nasty? A lot of the animal world, boys are nasty, right? Don's laughing at JJ. It was, I now remember, two of us, one to hold and one, and I pulled the tape and hair with it. Yeah, I'm sure you got the hair with it. Goodness. Erica has also been peed on by rabbits and guinea pigs. It's part of raising animals, right? You get peed on. Oh boy. And Anime's been peed on too. Oh boy. I read that wrong, Erica? What? I don't care. I don't know how you read that wrong. She didn't do it to them. Worse is being peed on by the goats. I can imagine because they're a little stinkier, especially the boys. Yeah. Uh-oh. Don says we have many types of flies and biting flies here at different times, and the ones that bite when it gets ready to rain. Yeah, I've not heard that before Verna brought it up. It might be a different kind than we have here. And we just have like regular house flies, or I just might not be getting enough rain. Yeah. Anime says, you got that right, Erica. Anime says, so you are a scientist. I am a wildlife biologist. So these days I'm mostly in the office, which is at my house because we're working remote. And we do special status species surveys for endangered species and threatened species and nesting birds and things like that. And then our company also does special status plant surveys and wetland delineations and all of that. So terrestrial wildlife ecologist. So yep, that's what we do. My master's, I worked with badgers. This is the wrong kind of badger. I don't think they make stuffed animal badgers for the right kind of badger. These are European badger. But the American badger is what I did my master's with, characterizing their natal habitat or reproductive habitat in California. So there you go. There's a little bit more about me. If you have badger questions, I know that. JJ says, now I remember why I never wanted a rabbit when I was a kid. You can get a female or a male that you just don't get excited. And Verna is responding about the length that a cooey will pee. About a foot or so. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. Andy Rabbit says rabbits can do up to 6 feet. I believe it. It just stopped at me. Yeah. It's not a wonderful experience. Not saying, wow, 6 feet. Oh boy. And Andy Rabbit's laughing. Yep. Anyway, saying, oh my god, I have brothers. Men can really gross. Yeah, they're really gross, huh? How do you start a study? I would say, what do you want to study? And you form a hypothesis. So you observe, right? You say, oh, I'm going to observe this thing is happening. And so right now, let's go through the fly situation, okay? Right now, there's flies. And what's happening? They're there. There are traps. They are getting caught. And there's still some. So your observation is there's not enough traps, or the trap is the wrong type, or something needs to be done to the substrate, the ground, or whatever. You can make your hypothesis, right? And then you design a method to test it. So the method is, if you're going to change something to the substrate, to the ground, you do that. Like, oh, put more wood chips. I'm going to be putting more wood chips over things. Put more wood chips over an area. You can say, oh, my solution is to get this kind of trap or that kind of trap. And then you test it. And you test it in a way that you know what your answer will be. So it either will be this or it will not be this, right? Either this is working or this is not working. And we're not going to in this situation, but you would also design what's called a null hypothesis, which is NULL, which is that nothing's going to change if you do these things. And then you're supposed to do a control group. We're not going to do a control group. We're just going to, put up traps and do things. And the control group is basically do nothing and take the same measurements and go from there. So there you go. So observe, hypothesize, design a method, carry out that method, and have measurements for your results, and then discuss your results. There you go. Joy says, my old mare will do just about anything short of jumping in the creek to get rid of a horsefly. Yeah, we don't have horseflies here. They may be in the area, but not in our neighborhood. Those are the ones with if you look at their mouthpieces, look at their mouths underneath like a microscope, then, or even a hand lens, like they have like scissor jaws. It's ridiculous. Andy Rabbit says, I had a buck that was running the floor. I was in Texas. Every morning by my hubby said when he got to work, he had white spots on his pants, didn't have the heart to tell him he was getting sprayed. Oh, boy. Yep. And Erica's saying, yes, anime, I have a few, talking about goats. Mama just had babies yesterday. Congratulations, Erica. Awesome. Dawn is saying, LOL, that is just too funny and good payback too. Dawn. Oh, anyway, says, so you know what a medical service animal is, dogs or mini horse. Yep. I don't know much about them other than they exist, and a lot of people have them that are not actually trained, and a lot of people have them that are trained. Rena says, change cages more often. Yeah, see, I don't have cages though. But that is true for those with cages. Lucy is my service dog, Verna says. Yep. So, okay, we're talking about, I'll let you guys talk about Lucy. Erica says, goats are amazing. They are also a pain in the butt. I've heard that they're hard to keep in, but I've never had them. I have been around them, but I haven't ever actually raised them. Aaron Verna's asking you how many coup you want. Andy Rabbit says, last year I bought a lid that goes on a 5-gallon bucket to catch flies. You add your own fly bait in. It's green and made from drinking bottles. It worked good, but if a piece of rabbit feed fell in an opening, it would stop it up. If you can send me a picture of that, that would be great, because I can't picture what you're talking about. Yeah. All suggestions welcome. JJ says there are service dogs that work medical alerts, and there are therapy dogs, animals that work calming a person of alerting and distracting them from episodes. And Verna says she does it all. Yeah, so I had a neighbor growing up that he was epileptic, and he would have seizures, the grand mal seizures. And he had 4 service dogs. 2 of them were service dogs. 2 of them were in training. And the great thing about doing that way, because the other ones were getting older, is that he didn't have to train them. The other dogs trained the new dogs. And I honestly, that's the best way to do it. I mean, they speak their language, right? So yeah, I mean, they were trained to, when he had a seizure, they would go lay on him. And that was to prevent him from hurting himself. They would lay on him. And then when he was done, they would get the phone. And I don't know what else they did, but that, and the dogs in training were basically being trained by those other dogs, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. And JJ says, and dogs that do both. Yep, exactly. Anyway, says therapy animals aren't part of service. I think there's classifications, and there's different classifications for where you are, and I don't know them, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But there's different classifications and different things wherever you are. Guido says he had a work phone call. Oh, but it should be okay. Got it. Yeah, and Verna says it can take Lucy anywhere. Yep. All right. Yeah, so JJ says, right, but they are still very useful and can't go to all the same places. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Steve says, Babe plays Yumi, how big is Lane's room? Haha. Is Lane the one that's going to be raising the guinea pigs? That would be a good project for him. Okay. Erica says, I had one of my bucks get out and tangle himself up in something. When goats get tangled, they scare themselves into heart attacks. So I'm down one goat. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a lot. Was he at least salvageable for food? Like, did you eat him or process him? Okay, so Verna says ADA said Lucy is a service dog. Exactly. And there's a lot of people who call their dogs service dogs and are not, when there's a lot that are, like Lucy. And so, like, they're trained, they're well behaved, they know what to do when they do it. And then there's people who just want to get their dog to go to the restaurant with them. So yeah, there is definitely a difference. And Lucy's definitely a service dog. Guido says, Steve, maybe not big enough for the answer Lane would give. Oh boy. Thank you, Andy Rabbit. I will look at that later. I trust Lane's judgment, Steve says. Oh boy. Guido says, once Lane meets a guinea pig, I'm sure they will become his. Yep. Hey, give him some responsibility that he doesn't have right now, and go with it. JJ says, I had just a regular dog that would make me lie down and do medical alert. That got my doctor thinking and recommended a service dog who is highly trained and saves my life weekly. That is awesome. Dogs are amazing, and they pick up on the smallest things. I have a friend whose kid has seizures, both kinds, but the dog was easier to train than the kid, because she would push him into a chair before he would seize. And he was resisting that. And it took a long time for them to figure out, oh, she's telling me that something's coming, I need to sit down. And so sometimes the dogs, they just know. They sense things. It's amazing how they can sense these things. It's awesome. Yeah, Verna says, I've had her in the courthouse. Yep. Andy Rabbit says, Katrina, that would you jumped. That would so be a question I would ask. Love it. Flies? Is that the question that you would ask? I don't know what question it was if it wasn't that. Hey, things we deal with, right? It's what's happening now. And I have your collective attention. Anime says, therapy animals are animals with good behavior that are taken places and people need comfort and distraction. They aren't always, but anyway, we're gonna move on from that topic, because there's different things for different states and different areas, and yeah. And Verna says Lane is wonderful with the bees. He looks like he's having a great time. Yep. Oh, Erica. Nope, he was only good for compost by the time we found him. How long after he got entangled did you find him? Wow. Yuta says poor Lane is actually sleeping. He wiped out on his bike Saturday and ended up with 5 stitches in his knee. He's taking advantage of injury fully. My goodness. We've all fallen off our bikes, right? Dogs are wonderful. We can agree on that. Yeah. Verna saying that's sad to Erica about her goat. Yeah. Yep. Andy Rabbit says a dog found my mom's breast cancer. They are amazing. I went to there's a Defenders of Wildlife is a organization. They have a conference. It's called the Carnivores Conference. Started out with wolves and protecting wolves in the United States and maybe all of North America. I don't remember, but I gave a poster presentation, later a talk on a different date there, and we actually got to meet a wolf, and it's a wolf that can't be in the wild. I don't remember her whole history, but there's some reason why I don't know if she was like on a roadside zoo and was confiscated or abandoned as a pup. I don't remember what her story was, but I remember the person who had her. We were in a room and she was not there, and um, he had us all sit down in a circle, and he said that she would come in and if we can sit still for a little bit, and that she would go around the circle and smell all of us. Like that's just what she does. They didn't train her to do it, and she kind of just wants to know who's there and who's in the room and all of that. And that's her regular thing. She does that all the time. And he told a story about one time that they brought her in. You know, she's used for education and she apparently enjoys it. She looked like it. And how one time she came in they let her into the room, and she went straight across the circle and put her nose right into somebody's abdomen, like in it, like there's something there. And so that was a little shocking. And people, the person who was, giving the presentation, he said, you might want to go to the doctor and see if there's something there. And she got back to him, and it was a tumor. So from across the room, that wolf hunted out immediately that lady had something that made her weak. And that just goes to show how much they have in their sensories that we don't, or haven't been able to tap into. At least I'm guessing their sense of smell is has to do a lot with that. They have a huge sense of smell, and they can do amazing things. So yeah, when she came in for us, she went around the circle. She gave my face a little lick and kind of said hi to everybody. We didn't have any of those events happening when I was there, but I think it's a pretty strong story. Yeah. Yeah. Verna says, "Oh, Christina, next time you see him, give him a hug for me." Yes, Lane will get better, I'm sure. He'll bounce right back on that bike. Erica says, I lost a baby earlier and have one that's sick. They were preemies, so I'll be glad if any make it. Wow. Good luck. Good luck. Erica says, it was about 2 days before we found him. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a while. Everybody's saying hi to Manuel. He just left. He's going to go see his girls. I'll wave to him when he watches this later. Dawn says, have a great night, everyone. Time for me to get off the computer for the night. Good night, Dawn. Thank you for coming. Verna says, when I first met my belated, he had a timber wolf named Max, and I had a Roddy, not Bob, as he was brindle, named Max. He had two Maxes. The maximum Maxes. Yeah. JJ says, wow, yes, mine sometimes will alert someone else. It has to do with blood chemistry sense. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. I mean, in my field of work, there are scent dogs. They're called scent dogs, or they're called scat dogs. And they basically, it's like the narcotics dogs, right? The police dogs that look for drugs. They can actually train them for many, many scents. And in our field with endangered species, there are dogs that are trained to find things like kit fox scat or blunt-nosed leopard lizard scat. Yeah, you heard me right. A lizard poop. They are trained to find a specific species of lizard poop. And it's pretty impressive what they find and how well they are, that how good they are at it. Now those type of dogs are. I went to a talk for this company that does these things, and basically the dog is with their person all the time. It's, you know, it's not like the person comes to work, there's a dog there, and then they go with them. It's they are home with them. It's their dog. And they're a lot of work. And part of what makes them really good at their job, being a working dog, is that they love to do something and get rewarded, and do something and get rewarded. And they're very high energy. And she said, she used the word unadoptable. These are the dogs that are the ones that get returned over and over again. As long as they have a good nose, those are the ones that they seek out as scent dogs for working, because they have a drive. They have a drive, and they have a job. They, once those kind of dogs have a job to do, then they're happy. You know, they get rewarded with a ball or another toy or something, for every time they find something correctly. And they can be trained, I think she said, up to 4 or 5 specific scents. I don't know if they didn't try more than that, or if it just gets muddled after that. I don't know. But they are now doing this with endangered plants. So they're looking for endangered plants with dogs. Now, the scent carries a certain distance. So oftentimes, you know, with a lizard, it's going to be a less distance than with a kit fox or something like that. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Let's scroll up here. Andy Rabbit says, my dog can feel earthquakes before they happen. I know once I was up to a week before it hit. Wow. Yeah, they definitely feel things. Anime says, I wanted to start a study on cats because they have potentially become a great help to people who can't have dogs but need to help medically. But I don't know how to go about that because I'm not a scientist doctor. So cats are much more difficult to train than dogs. And I did see a documentary, and I do not remember the name of it or where it was, but I did see a documentary about cats and training cats. So that might be somewhere to start. And you might look at your local university and try and contact them and see if they have a behavioral, an animal behavior department, or someone who works with animal behavior, and they may be able to help you, or you may be able to work on one of their projects too, because that would be a good learning opportunity for you and to get involved in. Even if it's an unpaid internship, it would be a really good opportunity to get involved on somebody's project. Yeah, and there may be somebody doing that too, so it's a good thing. Good idea. JJ's laughing. I had a Chi-Chi that would let me know if one of my kids brought home a kid that smoked pot. I don't know what a Chi-Chi is. Oh, Chihuahua. Okay. She did not like it. Yeah, I can understand that. That's pretty funny though. She's like, hey, something's going on here. They can find anything. Yep. Yeah, they're pretty good at it. Yes, dogs love jobs. And there are specific breeds that need a job. You know, I mean, the ones that, you know, herd, for example, they always have to herd something, or, you know, have something to do. And there are some breeds that just sleep all day, you know, and then there's some breeds that they have to have a job. And if they don't have a job and they left home all day, well, of course they're going to chew on things, right? Like, What did you think was going to happen? Didn't give it a job. Yeah. Steve says tattletale pooch. Andy Rabbit says, my last dog would stick her nose in the pockets of kids. The pockets always had weed in it. Okay. Apparently you guys have a lot more experience with this plant than I do. JJ's laughing at Steve. I know, right? But those are things a mother wants to know. Yep. Andy Rabbit says both dogs were pits. Yeah. No, their nose ability, like their sensibility, their sensibility, they're more sensible. Is amazing. Anyway, says training cats ain't as hard as one thinks. They just need to be trained in a softer way than dogs. Yeah, it was a different. It was like how these people trained cats, and it had something to do with. So there was some circus cats, and that was part of it. But then there was some cats that did these other things, and that was part of it. And it was like a hodgepodge, whatever it is, of different stories put together into a documentary that I watched. Yeah. You have to start training them as kittens. Yep. Yeah, I would think so. JJ says that Chihuahua was the one that also made me lie down. Just a regular dog. I don't know that a Chihuahua is ever just a regular dog. But you're saying didn't have any special papered qualifications. Yep. Truck 3 says, if my Ellie watches someone in a public place, that's a sign to watch that person. Actually had her alert on a stalker in Tractor Supply. Wow. Yeah, you pay attention to that. I have a neighbor who used to have a big hound dog. He was great. And we used to say that he had friends and friends he hadn't met yet. He was oh so happy to be with any person. And the ones that he completely ignored, you should ignore. He didn't do anything bad, didn't bark at him. He just like, nope, don't need you in my life. So there you go. Anime says, Legato Romangolno. Yeah, I did not say that right. Our dog that breed those. Oh, finding truffles. Yeah, they raise them. They raise them pretty good. Ed is saying narco dog. Oh well. They got them big sniffers. Yeah, I don't know which dog that is, but I can look it up. Oh, Andy Rabbit is laughing at me, and we just became legal here last year. I think it's been. I mean, I'm in California. I think it's been legal for a while. I don't do any of that. Yeah, Steve, medical here. Yeah, I don't do any of that. Yeah. So we got dogs, we got flies. Talking about sniffing things out. Yeah. All right. So what you guys have going on this week? I am going to be working on website stuff. I got a couple pages done on it, and it's not up yet. It will be up when I'm done. And I'm basically teaching myself how to do this. I didn't see a tutorial. Maybe there is one out there, and maybe I should look for that, but I'm getting it done. I don't know how to do links yet or anything like that, but I'm working on it. So, yeah, not many projects going on here. I will be canning quail and processing rabbits this week. And that is my plan as far as what to do project-wise. Truck 3 says, our hound doesn't like the assessor, wouldn't let him leave his vehicle, and then stalked him when he walked around. Loves everyone else. Well, that is someone to keep an eye on. There you go. Yeah. Verna says, Lucy will not let me get close to someone that isn't safe. she has made many to cross the street. Anime says, I love dogs. They are amazing. They just know. Yes, they do. They do. So, yeah, I think that they are great. And eventually I will have a dog, and I do not right now. Although I do dog sit for people. And so you never know if there's a dog over here. Yeah. Andy Rabbit says, I'm spring cleaning the rabbit's yard and moving some cages around this week. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, and then the baby bunnies go into the double-decker hutch like this weekend. I mean, it could be like Monday or Tuesday. Doesn't have to be this weekend, but I want to give them time because their mamas, I believe, should be pregnant. So, and that will be the last batch before the heat of summer. And then we'll start up in fall. Yeah. Bottle feeding baby goats, apparently. Erica, you said that with such enthusiasm. I think I read that with about the same enthusiasm that you have for it. Hopefully it goes well, and hopefully they all do well. Yeah. Sorry that was a surprise. You said they were early. Verna says, tomorrow I will be videoing the explanation and final build of the Kui cages. Yay, no more hurting hands. Yay. Anyway, says, my grandma's dog knows when you're in pain and will cuddle up to the pain area. Yeah, they definitely know. And JJ says sweet. Yep. Truck 3 says, putting up a trellis for tomato plants and seriously starting planting. Yes, do it. Hopefully everything goes well. I don't know when you guys' last frost date is over there. You're in the Midwest, right? I don't remember. I don't know. I didn't look it up. As long as you look it up, you'll know. Anime says you can guess what breed he's mixed with. There you go. Chihuahua. Oh, zone 3-4. Wow. That is not much growing time. Or not, it gets pretty cold. Steve says we're going to go rob the bamboo field and make us some trellis with those. Just don't plant it because that will just take over. Katrina, did you see the one ring for greenstock to have the vines grow onto? Yes, I saw that in your video, and I've not known anybody that has had it, so I really want to know how that works for you. I think in theory it works. I wonder how well. Did you get the spinner base? I wonder how well it turns with that on it. Like you'd have to have like everything, make sure everything was up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing about that, Verna. I did not get those for mine because that's not the type of stuff I'm growing, but for your situation, it definitely makes sense to do that. JJ says, I saw a bamboo field last weekend and wanted to stop and ask the owners, but was too shy to do so. JJ, start knocking on doors. Sell them Girl Scout cookies. No, I think it's perfectly fine to say, hey, I'm working on this project. I mean, don't just say, hey, can I have bamboo, right? Introduce yourself. Tell them what you're doing. I'm in the area. I live over here, or whatever. And then you can ask. And they might, I mean, the worst will happen, hopefully. The worst is that they'll say no. This day and age, I don't know. But yeah, maybe bring them something to trade. Make them cookies. Something. Anime says Chihuahua and Dash mix. He's like a mini running bullet who just wants pets. I don't know if you guys saw the video from today, the week in review, but when I gave rigatoni and ravioli the comfrey leaves, I wasn't filming all all of them eating leaves, but I put the leaf up, and Rigatoni went to town, and Ravioli was like, yeah, maybe. And then she bumped my hand to be pet. And it's like, this is supposed to be a scrumptious snack. But she just wanted pets. And that's the kind of girl she is. Yeah. Britta says, they are easy to add to the tower. Yes, I have the spinner base. Awesome. I want to know how that works for you. Andy Rabbit says, I'm thinking about building some planters on legs to go over some kind of cages I have out in the yard. I keep the cages lower than the fence. Yeah, and that would actually give it additional shade too, right? Yeah. Andy's going to send you some bamboo, JJ. Steve says, I planted marigolds one year, a lot, and someone stopped to ask for some, so they helped me thin them out. That's good. That's good. Andy Rabbit says, yes, she grows bamboo. Can bamboo survive winters? Anime, do you know what planting zone you are in? Or what state are you in if you don't know that? We can help you try and find something that will grow in your winter. Andy Rabbit says, it's a small type, finger size. There is an edible bamboo. Well, there's a couple edible bamboos as well. There's ones that spread and the ones that bunch. So you want to make sure if you are planting it that you get whatever type you are actually looking for. I've heard the ones that spread are hard to get rid of. JJ wants some bamboo. Yes, there are bamboo that grow in cold areas. There you go. Anime, what state are you in? Andy says, yes, my bamboo comes back every spring. It dies off in winter. Okay. Steve says, I planted bamboo one time. It hardly grew. I moved. Now 5 years later, their whole yard is a bamboo jungle. Exactly what I was just saying. Yeah, be careful. Be careful what you wish for. Michigan. Okay. Michigan, but wanting to go to Kentucky. Okay. I'm going to guess you're probably zone 5 or 4. If somebody's closer to Michigan, they can help out. But I would look that up, and you can see that. Yeah. I just had my tank bamboo die today. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've not tried to grow bamboo. I have lucky bamboo, but that's not actually a real bamboo. That's a different plants. Yeah. Right, Verna. Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, if you type into the internet, type this into the internet. USDA planting zone for, and then type in your zip code. Replace the word zip code with your actual zip code, and that should give you your planting zone. And then once you have that, you can look up planting zones for plants. Just type in USDA planting zone for, and then put your zip code, and that will help you. JJ says, I grew bamboo and the roots are very hard on the adult ones. Andy Rabbit says, I think my bamboo is a clumping type. I just learned that a week or so ago. If it hasn't taken over everything, then there you go. It'll be clumping. You'll know if it's spreading. Steve says, I'm zone 7B and 8A. Awesome. If you're on the edge of a zone, I would always caution you to either plant for the colder zone, which is a smaller number, or plant for the bigger number and know that you might have to cover it with a frost blanket or something like that. You may have to protect it at some point. So yeah. And Verna says, I'm in 6B. I'm in 9A. So 9B. I'm in 9B. So yeah, that if you look that up, you should be able to know what you. So all that number is it tells you about the lowest low. So what is your lowest average? How, that something may or may not live through. That's all that number is. So it doesn't tell you anything about humidity. It doesn't tell you anything about length of growing season. It doesn't tell you any of that. It just tells you, will this plant die in my area in the winter? Like, that's basically what it's telling you. So yeah. JJ says, I am a 6'2", probably 6A. Yeah. 6B, I think. Okay. Yeah. So Anime, when you search for plants, you can, like, you're looking for passion fruit, right? You were asking about that question today. If you type in passion fruit planting, USDA planting zone 6B, and you might be able to find something, or you might be able to find something that you can. I don't know if that does well in a pot. Does anybody know if passion fruit does well in a pot? I have mine in the ground, but you might be able to find something that would go in a big pot and then grow during the growing season, and then you can cut back and take inside during the winter. So that's another option to extend that. Yeah. Steve says, I find it funny that I'm those two, but 70 miles north of me, they are 8A. Yes. And even with that, so these are very broad maps, and you have microclimates. You may even have microclimates within your own property or within your zip code. There may be microclimates. And so that's something to pay attention to, is that, on this side of the hill, it might be one thing. On the other side of the hill, it might be another thing. Or, hey, there's a lake over here, and that has an effect here, but not over here. There are some micro things going on. So those are guidelines, I would say, is that this is approximately what to expect. And then you can develop further what the actual expectation is through your own experience. Yeah. Verna says, to Anime, you're probably 6A or 5B. JJ says, in ground at my 6A property. My MIL, I don't know what that is, grows in a pot at 6B. Andy Rabbit says, I'm in 6 something zone. Yeah, so I mean, there are things you can grow. Kiwi would be another good thing to grow. There are cold hardy kiwis, and you just have to know. Oh, mother-in-law, thank you, Steve. Should I know this? Yes. Oh boy. Yeah, so there are cold hardy kiwis, and there are also something with kiwis, if you do choose to do that. Most kiwis, there is a male plant and a female plant, and you need both, and they're wind pollinated. So you put the male plant on the side that the wind is coming from, and the female plant on the downwind side. And then you have other kinds of kiwi that are both male and female in the same plant. So yeah. Anime says, oh, kiwi berries I was looking at. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there. There's a whole world of plants. Yeah. But now that you know your planting zone, you're going to be able to look up things more easily. So there you go. There's your answer. Yeah. They're a funny little thing. Yeah, kiwi berries. I have never had them, but I've seen pictures of them. The little guys. Yeah. Kiwis are good, though. Kiwis can grow here, and if I could get my female kiwi to grow, that would be great, but I keep losing female kiwis. JJ says I don't like thorns. Andy Rabbit says, I have bought cold hardy ones twice, killed them both times. Yeah, so there's several different varieties, and the cold hardy, like there is one named cold hardy, but then there's also other types of kiwis that are cold hardy without being named cold hardy. Does that make sense? I don't know what they're called, but yeah, research it. Make sure they're in your zone. There's different kinds, so pay attention to that. Yeah. I would love to get a kumquat. Base Place says, "Hey, if you're gonna truck it in and out, I think you can, as long as you don't get it any winter." And kumquats are, there's multiple varieties of those too. The ones in the store are not the tastiest ones. There's one that's a little rounder. I don't remember what it's called. I think it starts with the F. I don't know why I think that. But that one's really good. There's a whole bunch. Anime says thorns suck. Yep. Andy Rabbit says lemon trees have thorns. Yes, they do, especially if it's from a rootstock that has grown, or if it's from a water spout, which is when, I guess when it gets watered too much, they send up super fast growth. I don't know if that's the reason or not. Yeah. And if you prick yourself with a lemon thorn, then it hurts a lot. Like, I think there's something in it to make it hurt. I don't know if you've had that experience, Andy Rabbit. If you've like, yeah, it hurts for a long time. Something in that stuff. And yeah, so anime, they oftentimes, okay, most of the citrus out there that are sold in nurseries do not have thorns. Many of the rootstocks that they use have thorns. So if the rootstock starts growing, it'll have thorns. But it is a characteristic of some citrus types to have thorns. So like, I believe finger limes have thorns. There's other types that do as well. Yeah. JJ says the ones in stores are really bad these days. Wow. I wonder what type they're selling, because they don't all have thorns. Oh, bad as in taste. Yeah, tasteless. Yep. Anyway, says I'm shook. You're learning stuff tonight. Not yet. Try not to stab yourself with a lemon thorn, because I swear there's something other than just a poke that's happening, because it hurts. Verna says I used to climb thorn apple trees. Yeah. My reality has been shattered. Oh, anyway. Truck 3 says, "Oh, lordy, Verna, they are wicked." Anime says, "You keep making my reality shatter." Oh, boy. We're just learning. That's all. Erica says, "Lime thorns hurt too." So you see, how long does that stay with you? Because once you get poked by one of those thorns, it's there for a while. I don't know what it is either. Like, it feels like you're injected by something. I don't think that's what's happening, but there has to be something on the tip of those things that just hurt. Like, it's more than just a stab. It's like some sort of reaction. Yeah. Verna says to Truck 3, I was the only one that could climb them without getting stuck. Awesome. Yeah, Andy Rabbit says the Mexican lime at the nursery had thorns too. Yeah, there are certain citrus that's just part of what they are, and the fruit's worth it, or should be. Yeah. Meyer lemons have nasty thorns, Erica says. Yeah, mine has thorns, but it's mostly the water spouts that have them, or when it comes up from the graft, which I think my Meyer lemon, actually I do. I have an improved Meyer lemon that I bought. I don't know why I bought another one, but it does have thorns. But the other one, I believe part of it's thornless and part of it came up from the rootstock. It was already here when I moved in, so it was like it has like 2 different types of lemons on it. So, yeah. Bacteria? Maybe. It's got to be. It's a very specific event, though, JJ. It's very specific. So I wonder if it's something that specifically lives on there. Anyway, says I need lemons in my life. Yep, lemons are good. Lemons are good. Andy Rabbit says, I have a Meyer lemon tree I just got in March. Yeah, you're going to enjoy that once it starts really fruiting. JJ's hungry. We'll feed her lemons. Anime agrees. Andy Rabbit says, oh, spanking the lemon tree must have worked. It waking up and put buds off now. Maybe even a few flowers are starting. Yep, mine is blooming right now, and it's looking much more healthy. It recovered from all of that water. I think it just got too much water with all the rain that we had. All of the citrus like lost parts of branches and has dead parts. I probably can trim that off now. Whenever a plant has stress like that, you should not trim off those parts unless it's diseased. If it's like from a freeze or from, like in this case, it was a water stress in the opposite direction, it had too much water. Those should not be cut off until the plant has some recovery, because that can introduce, like, especially if it's still raining, that can introduce a cut, which is an access point for some bad things to happen. Speaking of lemons, I have lemon water. Oh, Anime, you can go eat. You can go eat. Andrew Rabbit says, my orange tree, I think I see 2 little bitty oranges starting. Aw, that's awesome. Base Place says, great. And JJ says, be right back. Food. I got a lemon water too, Anime. Here you go. Cheers for lemon water. Yeah. So yeah, that's the good things happening here. I think that's it going on here. That's all that's going on. All right, Anime. You guys see if everybody's home, huh? I have the good lemons, homegrown. Yep. Good lemons are homegrown, and they're just, you pick them when they're fresh. That's the key, right? Like store-bought lemons would be good if they were picked fresh, but they were picked when they were not fresh. Yeah. Although citrus does hold pretty well. It does ship pretty well. Ed says that's about all I drink anymore is water with lemon juice in it. It's good. It's good for you. Not great for your teeth, but it's good for you. I like eating lemons. Ed, have you had a Meyer lemon? Because that is super tasty. All right. Anime says she's home. You're gonna go eat, huh? All right. Love lemon. Yep. Go eat. Go eat some dinner, Anime. Not that you know of. Anime saying later. Later. Yeah. If you get a chance to have Meyer lemons, it's so much different. So Meyer lemon is a cross between a lemon and, I believe, it's a tangerine, clementine, something like that. I don't remember. I think it was tangerine. Yeah, but it's an actual cross, and so it has the sour, but also has more sweet. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Lemon with sugar. Add some water, and you get lemonade. Yeah. Erica says, I just got my trees, so it'll be a couple of years before I get fruit. You might be surprised. I don't know how big their trees are, but you might be surprised unless you're picking the fruit off. Yeah. Verna says, cut a lemon in half and stick a peppermint disc in the center. Makes a great summertime treat. Oh my goodness, we're making everybody hungry. Ed says, just thinking about eating a lemon makes my mouth water. All right, Anime's gonna call us, grab a snack and call it a night. That's all right. That's all right. Thanks for coming. Yeah. Well, guys, unless anybody has something, some questions or some topics that we need to discuss or should discuss or want to discuss, I think we might be calling it a night. We're slowing down. We're all drinking water with lemon and getting hungry. So, yeah. How to get rid of pain? That is a really, really great question. That is a question I think we all need to know. I don't know. Depends what your pain is caused by. Stretching and moving always helps. It depends on what your ailment is, but that always helps. Andy Rabbit, bee venom, so that she uses a product, right? That uses that. Yeah, there you go. Katrina, what is the plant you sent that looks like fern? Oh, it's yarrow. So that is yarrow. Yarrow is used. It's another name for it is warrior's wort or carpenter's wort, and it is used to stop bleeding. So you can take a leaf of that and put it on a cut, and it'll stop bleeding. I dried a bunch of it after I found out about that. I dried a bunch of it just to figure, oh, I'll have it. I'll set it in the bathroom, and if some, where Band-Aids and stuff are and stuff. And I actually, like, the day after I packaged that up, I broke a glass in the kitchen. I dropped it, and I was barefoot, and I stepped on glass by accident. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll try this. And it worked. So it's called that because warriors or carpenters supposedly tucked it into their belts when they went to work. So that is what it is. It does have some other medicinal uses. I will type it out. Yarrow. Internal uses are limited and should not be used if you have a blood condition, which I never know what that means. But you will have to look it up as far as that, because I'm not going to give advice with that. Yeah. JJ says ice. Yes, ice reduces inflammation. So if there's an inflammation going on, then ice reducing inflammation. If there's a high sugar intake, reducing your sugar is likely to reduce your inflammation. Yeah. Ed says that what I'm about to do next, eat. LOL. I'm always in pain. Yeah. Yeah. So Andy Rabbit says it's a cream. Yep. Steve says, Ed, she says in pain, not is it pain. Da da da. Yarrow's coming back nicely. Yeah, it repots pretty well. I know I shook off a lot of the dirt, the soil, but it repots pretty well. And that was actually one that self-seeded itself. This is a volunteer. It didn't volunteer to go to your place, but it volunteered to go to grow. Anime says, I have no idea, just sore, bleeding, soft palate, and swollen lymph nodes. I would say you need to go to a doctor. That's what I would say. And that would be the only place I would think can help diagnose you. For sure. Do that for sure. Baseplay says sounds like mono. I don't know. Andy Rabbit says my yellow yarrow died out. I have pink growing still. So the one that I have in the yard, it started out as hot pink, and basically I went to this lady's place and they sold, some flowers and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I need for bees? Like they grow bees. They don't grow bees. They raise bees. And she's like, oh, you need Russian sage and you need yarrow. And yarrow is good for all of the garden because it has the landing pad for the predatory insects, and the bees like it, all this stuff. And like, okay. And so I got it, and it was hot pink. And so now I no longer have hot pink, but I do have pink and cream and white. And so I thought that was really interesting. It just reseeded itself, and it's losing that pink color, which is interesting. Yep. Anime, you need to go see a doctor. Please, please, please. Doesn't matter if you don't have health care, go see a doctor. Sounds like you're having some issues. Yeah. And he says could be strep or something else. Yeah. Go to a doctor. And JJ saying see doctor, spreading infection can be serious. Absolutely. They're expensive everywhere. And Vase Place has it right. She says a better a bill than a funeral. Yep. Yep. I would not try and self-treat. I would see a doctor. And Steve is saying not seeing a doctor can cost more. Yep. Andy Rabbit says my hubby went into the ER, no insurance, a $8,000 bill. He did some paperwork. Now it's only $1,200, and he only had to pay $10 a month. Exactly. There are options. Ed says anime. Someone I know didn't have dental insurance, so they didn't go. They found him dead in his room because of his bad dental problems. Seeing a doctor is cheaper than being dead. Yep. Worry about the bill after, JJ says. Anime, go to the doctor. That's all of our advice. That's all of our advice. For sure. Yep. Yeah, it's not worth the alternative. Yep. Yeah, and Verna is right. She says most hospitals have ways to help you. Yeah. And if you need to go to the ER, you go to the ER. And if you go to an appointment, you go to an appointment. And Ed says they can't get money for someone who doesn't have it, but they can't turn you away. Yeah, they're not going to turn you away. Yeah. Definitely go. Because that is definitely a better thing to do. All right. Steve says hospitals are subsidized by the government. They have to treat so many who can't pay to keep getting that money. Yep. We're getting all sorts of advice for you. It's all saying go. Andy Rabbit says, "Oh, anime. If my hubby didn't have a job, he could have had the whole bill paid. So you may be good there." Okay. Vase Place says, "Time to be an adult and go to the hospital." Yeah, definitely time to go for sure. And they're going to help you. They're going to help you. They can't turn you away, and they're going to help you. And then once they have things figured out, you can figure out your next steps with them, and they will be able to help you through that for sure. Yep. So go. Because we all want to be pain free, and it's the best. How does one get insurance though? It's often through a job or it's through the state. I don't know if there's federal or not, but I would go to the doctor. Yeah. And Andy says, yeah, but all he has to pay is $10 a month anyway. And $10 a month is it's affordable. Yeah. JJ says through a job or Medicare. Yep. And yeah, Verna's right. Verna's exactly right. Is they can even help you with that if you go to the hospital. Yeah. Erica says, if you haven't figured it out yet, anime, we are all worried about you. Go to the doctor. Yep. Yep. We want you to get better and healthy and happy and pain-free. That's what we want for you. Truck 3 says Marketplace can get you insurance. but worry about that later. Yeah, I would say worry about that later. I don't know how all of that works, but definitely get your health figured out with a doctor, and they will help you get through that. Vase Place says we want to see you at QuailCon, and you can't do that if you are dead. Yep. Keep hearing a chirp in the background. Okay. It's telling you to go to the doctor. I don't know what chip it might be. But yeah, definitely go, and they will help you out. They have what are they called? I don't remember what they're called, but they have people who work in hospitals specifically to help people go through all the paperwork part of it and figure out that part of it. They caseworkers, so they're caseworkers in the hospitals, and they'll help. Yeah. JJ says hospitals usually have casework. Oh, I could have just read your comment. Could have had usually have caseworkers that will help you get your insurance. Exactly. They'll get it figured out with you, and that will take away pain and all of that once you get things figured out. Yeah. Verna says usually patient anabisman. Steve says, do you have your wilds in one aviary and your Egyptians in the other? Yes. So I have my jumbo wilds in the aviary, and I have my my Egyptian fees in the main aviary, and I have them separate so that they can make babies that look like them. So that is what I have going on. I did reduce my numbers for the main aviary. It was time anyway because they were growing up from being young, and they were so they were 8 weeks old, or they were 9 weeks old when we actually did it. But yeah, they had a good amount of growth. They weren't as big as the jumbos. I did not weigh them, but they have a really good they had some pretty good growth. Yeah. But I have 20 females and 6 males in there, and I'm still evaluating which male should go. I tend to keep an extra male than like one more than what I need, because you never know what's going to happen when you take animals out of that population. Like, so we actually process a bunch of them. You don't know what's going to happen in the process of them figuring out their new pecking order. And so that is really, for me, it's more of a peace of mind thing that I will have that many. If there's one that has its eyes pecked out or something like that, I don't want to keep that one, but I don't want to be short one. So then you're left in a limbo situation. So I want to make sure I have enough of the birds there, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. And then the other aviary, we haven't reduced. I mean, it's reduced from what it was, but we haven't reduced them more than what I did last time. But I plan to. I don't know what that is. Okay. All right. Is Verna put my Facebook page? Thank you, Verna, and my affiliate link for Quail University. Thank you. Yeah, Quail University is really good. So, yeah. All right, guys. I think we're going to end it there. I think we had some good topics today, and I'm going to be trying some fly things. And somebody remind me in about a month to bring up the flies again, and see what worked for people, what didn't work for people, what people thought would work and didn't, or didn't expect to and did. Because it sounds like we're all coming into the same season right now. Yeah. JJ says, good night. Thank you for the live and company. Thank you for showing up and having some conversations. Andy says, good night all and have a good week. Good night. Good night. Thank you guys for coming and interacting and all of that. Verna says, have a blessed night, everyone. You as well. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. We will see you next week, Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Next week. All right. We'll see you later. Good night.